Hello, everyone. Welcome. This is the final purpose guiding session with Isabella from Costa Rica. We've spent the last few months together. She's been diving deeper into her purpose, clearing out obstacles to living it, creating purpose-aligned projects, spending time, lots of time in nature. And I just want to give you a chance to kind of meet her. In addition to being an awesome mother and just wonderful woman, she's a university instructor. She helps people learn the English language in Costa Rica. So welcome, Isabella. Welcome.
Hey, Brandon. How are you?
I'm good.
Welcome. Thank you.
So, Isa, when you first came into purpose guiding, into this journey, why did you want to do this? What was important to you?
Well, Brandon, when I first, got into touch with this area of purpose, I was just getting out of a marriage, 10-year-old marriage. I was divorced like for 4 years, and I had done a lot of, healing for myself, so I wouldn't feel like hurt about the whole situation. But I still felt that there was something missing. I still felt like I was lost, or like I was empty, and that I needed to find something for me, because I had a lot of things for my kids, and a lot of the areas of my life were like fulfilled. But me itself, I didn't feel that I was doing everything I could. And I thought it was a good chance to maybe get what I wanted. And so I gave it a try.
Awesome. So now, on the other side of this journey, how would you say that this work has transformed your romantic life?
Well, I think that has been actually the greatest of all the changes, because I was very insecure after my marriage about myself, and I thought that I needed certain types of things in my life. And I realized after this that I don't need anything actually, because everything that I need, I have it. But I needed to feel confident about myself that what I need, it's what I already have. I needed to feel good about that, and I hadn't felt this good in maybe 3 or 4 years. So it's awesome to feel like this now.
Wow, that's awesome. I'm glad that this is the best you've felt in 3 or 4 years. That's really great.
Yeah.
So how has this work shown up in your health?
Well, before I came into this process, I went through a 1-year period of dieting, because as a result of my divorce and everything, I had lost like every sense of eating well, exercise. I was very fat. That was the word. But after that process ended, I was very worried that I was going to go back to being the same person. I was going to eat again because I was so stressed and so anxious. And actually, I'm not. Actually, I'm so confident about the future and about everything that is happening in my life that I don't feel the need to eat any longer. I mean, I'm just eating healthy, like okay. Sometimes I'll eat a little bit more, but I feel good. I don't feel stressed about it. I don't feel scared. So that is also something that I'm glad that I was able to finally come to terms with.
Wow, that's awesome. In your career,
Yeah.
like how has this work shown up in your career?
Well, let's say that before I started this, I was very clear about a couple of things. I was clear about the fact that I like to teach. I love to teach, and that I somehow felt that I could do it differently, so I could reach more people. But I was not very sure. That was not something that I was ever capable of doing by myself. And as you know, I was finally able to understand that yes, I'm supposed to teach, but actually my purpose in life is to teach, in my case, women. from like far away areas from our city. I want to teach them English so they have a better opportunity to have a better job. I want to teach them about the purpose of their lives. I want to well, and I would do so many things. I don't know if I'm gonna have life enough to do everything. I hope I do, but now I know it, and I'm super excited about that.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. So let me ask you about the current project. So your current purpose project. What are you going to do with it?
Okay, so I have at least 4 projects that I need to accomplish before I start with my huge, let's say, most important project, which is the teaching part. I need to create my curricula. I need to create this teaching method so that when the time comes for other people to help me teach, they'll know exactly what to do. I need to create my own material so that I have the ability to have other people help me also. And what I'm currently doing, like as of next week, is I'm going to start including my purpose readings and material and everything I have in my current lessons that I'm teaching at university, so I can start having a sense of what is the material that I can use, because the university that I'm teaching currently in is also far away from the city. So I guess my target is very similar to this one. So yeah, I'm hoping it's gonna work.
That's awesome. So how has purpose work affected your family, with your children or your mom or your ex-husband?
Well, let's say that it has affected me to the point I can see them reacting to my attitude, to my words, to my actions in a more relaxed way. I can see them not so stressed and anxious, which is what I'm thinking. That was my state of being. I was anxious and I was worried before. Now I'm not. So I know that just that, it's a huge change for everybody.
So is it safe to say that like something shifted in you that now your kids and your mom respond to you differently, or? Yeah.
Well, I guess it's just that, well, anybody who has kids knows that they're basically the mirror of your actions. They'll basically do what you do, and they'll say what you say. So whenever I see them reacting like, I don't know, like mad, or I go like, well, what am I saying? What am I doing? But that hasn't happened lately. So I know it's me that it's also changing so much to the point that I don't see those, reflections on them. And that is like, I think that's the best thing for every parent, like being able to, at least not affect them to the point they lose themselves in you.
Yeah. There's a great book by a Stanford professor, Paths to Purpose, talks by William Damon. And he says, like, basically the number one thing you can do to create a happy child is to find your purpose, because you become the example of what it means to be a human being. And, it's like, it's an amazing gift you've given your children to be that for them. They're going to see you kicking butt and taking names. Like, wow, like I want to grow up underneath a mom like that who kicks butt and takes names and like, is up to something big in the world.
That's what I'm hoping.
It's amazing. It's great.
Well,
so how about in your, how about your spirituality? Is anything developed for you in your connection to spirit?
Well, before I started with the process, I was almost sure, about my beliefs, but again, I had that feeling of not being like completely sure about anything, feeling very insecure, just feeling lost. And now this is all just like a confirmation that everything I'm doing and the way I'm behaving and the way things are going, it's the way it's supposed to be. It's what I need to be able to, help everybody else or do my part in this world. And that alone has shifted so many things that,
Mhm.
okay, it would take me like the whole day to tell you, but
Yeah.
it's been amazing.
Am I hearing that it's like that is it there's a stronger faith or a stronger trust that like everything is just happening the way it needs to be happening, or is that the right way to describe it,
Yeah.
or?
Yeah, it's just in general a better feeling of trusting the process and just trusting life and just letting go of anything you think you have to, because you don't have to.
Mm,
If you're like just on the right mindset, things will happen and then you just need to accept it, and then that's it. It's not actually, you think it's harder than it is, but it's not. It's so simple that I think that's why you think it's hard because it's so simple. You think there has to be something else, right? Maybe there's something I'm not doing, but no, you're actually doing it, and that's the beauty of it.
that's great. But and that's wonderful. I mean, like to feel the trust and yeah, just to like not question it, just to like there's a simplicity that comes with it. Just like, oh, okay, I know myself. It's gonna work out. So how about your
Yeah.
finances? Has anything shifted for you in relationship to money?
Well, my perspective with the relationship with money is what has changed, because I realized that taking more jobs would mean less time with my kids, and that's a definite no for me. So if I needed to put like myself into perspective and decide, which was very hard for me, but I ended up deciding, okay, if I get enough to live and that's what I need, that's what I'm going to take, because my time for me with my kids has no price. I cannot put a
Mm,
price to that. And so learning and accepting that, again, life gives me what I need, not what I want or what society tells me that I should want.
mm,
It's such a relief. It's such just like taking a mountain from your shoulders, because then you start appreciating and thanking everything that comes around and everything that happens. And then it comes to a point in which, believe it or not, you actually feel you don't need anything else. You don't. And it's because you don't. That's why you feel it, because you don't. Because you
yeah,
don't need anything else.
you don't. Yeah, I mean, there's a great study that confirms that. Like people who know the purpose, like feel abundance 47% more than folks who don't. It just there's a sense that like whatever's coming in is what needs to be coming in, and like there's
That's
no
it.
need to worry about getting more or conforming to other expectations about what you should be
Yeah.
having or shouldn't have. You're just
And
like,
I think the problem is that a lot comes from what you hear from other people,
mm,
like from what other people tell you you should have or you should buy. And when you realize that, well, not really, because maybe that's going to help the economy, and that's fine, but it's not because you need it.
right.
It's not because if you don't have it, you're not going to breathe or you're not going to. No. So when you're able to release from that need, from that, it's just a sense of, okay, that's fine. I mean, just it's cool. I mean, what else do you need?
Awesome, awesome. Well, so let's shift gears a little bit. I want to hear in terms of the different processes we did. We did a number of guided visualizations. We did IntelliKey, Soul Cave. We did the 10 years meditation, um, and you did one Soul Quest / two Soul Quests,
Yeah.
uh, and yeah. So which of the exercises you think were your favorite or like had the biggest pop for you?
Well, it's kind of hard to choose because all of them meant something at a specific point, and even though they felt like hard at the beginning, afterwards you feel like was liberating. Like the
Mm,
Soul Quest for me, was one of the ones that I enjoyed the most. But the Cave Quest was one, and the IntelliKey, and oh my God, I don't know, like really, there's no way I can choose, because, like I said, each of them brought something to me that I didn't have, and
mm,
that I told you like maybe 1 or 2 days later. I cannot wait until our next meeting. You need to know this. This came right to me, and I need to say it. And he will tell me like, oh, cool, but let's talk about it on our next meeting. And I was like, yeah, but I need to say it. I need to say it because it's kind of like when you don't expect anything to happen and somebody brings you like the coolest gift on earth for no reason. And you go like, I have to tell somebody. It's like, I cannot keep this for myself.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. All of them, I enjoy them so much.
You were erupting. I mean, you were just like, you know, I was getting emails all the time. Ah, oh, it's awesome.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Oh, it's great. He's so wonderful. I feel like a very proud parent. So, if you were to say, have any advice to anybody about finding their purpose, like what would you give them? Like, what should they be thinking about? You know, what are the big reasons to do it? You know, what should they be worried about even? Like, so like, let's say you meet somebody you love and they're like, I don't know what my purpose is. And what would you tell them?
Well, I usually tell my friends, because this is something that I usually do now. I usually tell my friends, how satisfied are you, you know, with what you're currently doing? Because usually when, you know, you feel that people ask you a lot about what you're doing, you start wondering, is it that they're trying to ask me because they're trying to find out something for themselves? So I usually ask people, well, do you know what is your purpose in life? Do you know what's the reason you're here? Usually people say, no, I don't know. I think it's, but they're not sure. And to me, that was the same before. I think, but I was not sure. So I know it's not their purpose. Maybe it's something similar, but it's not exactly their purpose. So I usually tell them, well, wouldn't you like to know what is it that you're meant to do in this world? Like, wouldn't you want to know exactly why is it that you were born to be here, and how is it that you're going to affect other people? And usually I get like, yeah, sure. So I go like, well, but then to do that, you need to, you know, take a process. Like, that doesn't just happen to you overnight. I know that it is scary. I know that people think, no, that sounds weird. No, what am I going to do? Like, eat something special, or I'm going to have to sing to the moon, or I don't know. People have all these kinds of ideas of strange things. And I'm like, no, I mean, it's just the process of knowing yourself. How much do you know yourself? And if people really want to, or feel that, you know, that is something they don't have and they wish they had, I would say this is a perfect way of doing that. And get, at the same time, a huge amount of benefits in many areas of your life that will come, and you won't even know that they were coming, but that they will come as just part of the process of improving your life, and like an overall way. I mean, I don't know. I think it's very scary, but it's very much worth the scary part, the risk. You think it's not a risk, it's nothing. I mean, it's just something that you are born to do. So maybe after the first time you will feel like, oh no, I'm not supposed to be here, and what did I get myself into? But that will go away, because that's just your resistance talking. That's just this part of you who doesn't want you to go there because they're scared, and it's okay. It's okay. I think people should know that it's okay. Because it's part of that too. But you will feel so much better at the end, that you will say, how did I wait all this time to get here?
I know.
And it would probably,
I know, it's hard.
Yeah, and it would probably, you know, be more a matter of, well, maybe you were not ready before. And that's what I always say to myself. The fact that it was something that happened now and not before, it was because I was not ready to get any of this before. I was not going to appreciate anything the way I appreciate it now. So don't question yourself. I mean, if now that you're thinking about it, then go ahead and do it. It's never late. It's never going to be late. And you're never going to go back to feel the way you felt ever again before, because you're going to see yourself as a new person. It's amazing.
It is amazing. So,
it is.
I've only got one last question to ask you, but before I get to that, I just want to recap. So you came into it lost. You said you felt empty after your divorce. You were a mom and you knew you loved teaching, but like there was so much ambiguity and not a lot of confidence, like just looking down the list, like, how to be in romantic relationship wasn't something that felt powerful. Eating healthy wasn't something that felt like it was easy to do. The career felt like, either parts of it you liked, but parts of it weren't inspiring, right? And you felt some anxiety around finances, even though you had plenty of money coming in. And what you got out of it was confidence. You have a new career project that it lights you up. Actually, 4 career projects that light you up.
Actually.
You've got, the freedom to be single and the freedom to be in love, and to not need one or the other. It's like totally fine being by yourself.
That's it. I mean, what else can I ask for?
Yeah. And you're eating healthier. You're, it's showing up in your relationships with your kids and your mom. And soon you're going to have a big impact in your community as your project starts to kind of transform the lives of women. I mean, it's like, just want to honor you, Isa. Like, you accomplished so much. It's really beautiful. So a last question for you. What was it like to work with me personally? Like, what was your experience of kind of our calls and the emails and just kind of my style as a purpose guide? How did that land for you?
Okay. I have to say I was very scared because our cultures are different, right? So I didn't know what to expect. I had never worked so close in touch with an American person, as in a one-on-one coaching or anything, much less coaching, not anything similar to this in my whole life. So it's kind of, sometimes even like scared, because really I didn't know what to expect. I know that we had been through the other process, but that was a group process, right? The purpose finding for everybody. But still, that was not something that I could see or foresee as how it would be. And, I have to say that it actually turned out perfect, if you ask me. And I know that when people say perfect, what do you mean by perfect? Well, perfect for me, because you gave me what I needed. I always told you pushed me enough because you knew I was able to do more than I said I was able to, but not to the point I felt, okay, this is just impossible and maybe this is not for me and I need to quit, right? You were kind enough to lead me, but at the same time with, these rules that I would have to follow so that we would be able to complete the process, because otherwise this would have taken a year and would still be running around the bush, not completing anything. So I think Oral was that's exactly how I felt, and that's exactly the kind of person that I usually feel I need to lead me, because I'm completely like around everywhere. It's hard for me to pay attention. It's hard for me to concentrate. When somebody gives me that and expects that from me, that makes me want to be better. That pushes me to give myself as the best I can. So, I'm super grateful that I was able to do this with you. And I don't know, like, you're a part of my life basically forever, because everybody in my family knows Brandon. I've never seen you, but they always listen. Who's Brandon? I'm like, oh, Brandon is my coach. And they were like, yeah, we don't know Brandon. I'm like, oh, that's fine. Don't worry. So, yeah, everybody knows my kids.
Oh.
So, yeah, I mean, I guess that's like when I'm a teacher and my students tell me something like that, I feel like the best. Because you have been able to influence a person to the point that you feel that you mean something. And you definitely mean more than something to me, so I really appreciate that.
Thank you, Isa. It's really sweet.
Yeah, I'm super glad about this.
Yeah, I'm super glad, touched, and just humbled to be at your side for this. This was awesome. It was fireworks. All right. It was a pleasure.